You see people all the time posting, doing their little peacocking dance all over LinkedIn. I am proud to announce, they all say. Then there are those constantly sharing 10 tips on how to ace your next interview. But secretly, you know how much visibility you're leaving on the table. And you know that recruiters are looking at students and young professionals' LinkedIn profiles increasingly as a sign to hire. Secretly, you want to start your brand. Sometime, but not today. I mean, what do I post? Who am I even to post anything? You cringe at the thought. How do you start, despite the fear of starting? Once more, we are joined by Mathabatha Julius Mojapelo, CASA, CIA, RA, and thought leader for professionals of Africa. We chat about personal branding strategy and how you can get a tactical touch in building your brand as a young professional. We also chat about what differentiates the CA to other CAs globally, the CASA, his idea of an entrepreneurship articles program, why you should focus on the problem, not the solution, in personal branding, the importance of choosing your struggle in life, and more. I hope you enjoy. My travelers on the road to CASA. Quick one. Another article for you by Julius. It's so incredible. I think it's a subtle thing that you wouldn't think about. And basically, it's about impressions, first impressions, your appearance in particular. His article on what he calls enclothed cognition, the way you think because of what you wear, is incredibly interesting. It's linked in the show notes. It is one of those things that you wouldn't really think about going into the workplace. You know, your attire, your uniform, your aesthetic, etc. And I guess your impression. So check that out if you're interested. If you have not already, check out part 1, linked in the show notes as well. With that, on to part 2. You also have this idea of the untapped army.
A huge one.
Can you please elaborate on that?
You know, CAs can do in 2 hours what people can do in a week. 2 hours.
And you've seen it. I actually want people also aspiring CAs to just because we get so bogged down in I failed Finman the other day. And we don't realize that at the end of the 7 years, yes, maybe you are average or below average in your class, but in society, you are
the cream of the crop.
You're the cream of the crop.
I can tell you, anyone that finishes a BCom accounting is already the cream of the crop. Don't leave CTA alone. Just BCom accounting alone.
Yeah.
If we just mobilized everyone that has a BCom accounting, leave CAs, how many people do you think we have?
Thousands.
What army is that?
Sure.
Why would we still have a school with late financial statements when you've got people with BCom accounting? Why would you still have a early childhood development center that is not getting funding in South Africa if you've got people with BCom accountings that you can mobilize to go and fix the NPO registrations of every early childhood development center, get them funding, get them National Lottery Fund money, all those kind of things? That's the army we have. And now we are just talking about the little bit of CAs. We haven't even went to go tap into the other accounting professionals, right from BCom accounting up to CA. So we are playing with a very strong asset that we have. And overseas, they've seen it. You know, a lot of people don't find it very difficult to
They
be
want
attracted.
CAs.
They want CAs because
literally,
their chartered accountancy programs are not that strong. They are not as gruesome as ours. You know? Yeah.
My brother met a guy who's even me. I met him. I went to school with him actually, but he met with him, and he's in PwC Channel Islands, and he was just speaking about how, people just they're not as technically competent as us. Yep. It's insane, and also they don't have the same ethic. Well, I don't even know if it's an ethic thing. Maybe it's a cultural thing because South African articles, it's not easy. It's very hard.
Yes.
But it's this thing that makes you much more able to deal with complexity to a level that other people just can't.
No, definitely. And it's an issue of sustaining the intensity as well. So I feel like our qualification is the program with the longest intensity. Because there are intensities. It's like going to the gym and in a week and you stop. But there's a guy that has been doing that for like 3 years. He's different. The muscle structure is very different from yours. Now, we've done this for 7 years. The day you entered university, and if you calculate properly, it's probably 3 years before you entered university because you had to take that demeanor 3 years before you enter university to even make it into this program. So it means 3 years before you get into university, minimum 4 years at university. Most people don't take minimum 4 years. I mean, and then you take 3 years. So you have a person who for 10 years worked at a certain level of intensity. You can't compete with that person. 10 years of mental torture and stretching and disappointment and feeling like they are not enough and they still made it. So once that person makes it, we have to make sure we get the best out of that person. So now we found that certain sectors of the economy have taken them. I mean, banking has done very well in making sure they take all their good CAs, insurance, basically financial services has done well. In taking, they are using them to the fullest. Public sector is not using them to the fullest. Public sector has them.
They're trying.
AG is doing
AG
very
is
well.
they're really pushing the needle.
So I see AG as the not so public sector. Because they are not bound by the same problems that the rest of. So definitely, if we say public sector audit, if we say audit, I would include AG in audit, and I would say audit has done well. So financial services and audit, which is audit firms, the AG, those guys are fully utilized. I mean, those guys will work you until audit definitely has done well, but public sector hasn't done well. And entrepreneurship has not done well. So maybe that's the two that we can start taking CAs there in large numbers to say, how do we get them fully, put in public sector, but fully utilized the same way they are used in financial services and in audit and also in entrepreneurship. So if I had to put them in order, I would say number 1, financial services are done well, 2, audit. And then 3, I would say, is more or less public sector. And then the last one is entrepreneurship because we don't even have a division at SAICA that deals with just entrepreneurship. Really? If you want to join an entrepreneurship chapter today at SAICA, which one is it? Yeah, there you go. That's where we need to start. But you can have a public sector. You've got a public sector stream at SAICA. You've got a members in business, which is usually financial services. You've got an audit stream, but you don't have an entrepreneurship one. The only entrepreneurship that is catered for currently in our profession is people that start their own practices. But that's a specific form.
It's an audit entrepreneurship.
That's just an extension of audit. It's not really entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is to say, how do we create jobs for people that can wash cars? How do we create jobs for people that have matric? Audit, you're always going to hire your kind.
You're super skilled and also, your kind.
Our economy doesn't have an abundance of those people. The abundance of our economy are basic matriculants. And, so I think if we can get CAs to go into those fields, the reason why I'm for an entrepreneurship articles program is because I feel like the current articles program makes very fearful CAs that are afraid of entrepreneurship. Because we've spent 3 years learning about the bad side of business, raising risks, weaknesses.
And these people in the businesses are stressed.
Legislation. We see how difficult it is. We're like, not going there. So I think we need to take them out of CTA straight into the business so that they don't see
the naivety. It makes you
need that naivety.
Yeah,
yes.
you need that.
Now, once they get into articles and they spend 3 years and they realize, okay, and now again you get used to a salary there.
as well.
You see, now already
Golden handcuffs.
golden handcuffs. Now 3 years later, remember there the salary just keeps going up for no reason. I mean, you read a book and you passed. Why should we increase your salary? But that's the expectation. I finished board 1, I want an increase.
Yeah.
I finished
Board 2.
Yes.
Next one.
So I remember third year, the part 2 results come out. Next month, salary changes.
Yeah.
I'm like, nothing has changed. I'm still doing exactly the same job.
Same work.
I'm still at the same client, but I'm earning more money. So once you get used to that, and then you finish your articles, and in your first year of being a manager, you earn more money than people that worked for 20 years. 20 years. I was shocked when I found out that my uncle that has been a cop since 1993, I earned more money than him the day I finished my articles. He has been in the police service for 20 years. So you can see that's... And now how easy is it going to be for that kind of a person to leave that job and start a business? It's not going to be easy.
No.
So we need to make sure they don't get used to that.
Yeah.
Throw them straight into business. At least let them go shadow a business owner maybe for the first year, run their own thing.
I think that's a very important, something that I chatted with another CA about. Just having been in a business. You just need to sort of feel how does it feel to be in a business? What happens in the background? You just need you don't need a lot of it. Yeah. You just need maybe a year, maybe a few months.
And we can curate that as Psycha. I mean,
definitely.
We just say, where is the list of the people that after CTA are going to go into business? We get that when they start CTA. We've got an entire year to find them a place. We're not going to ask them when they pass. We're just going to check when they're starting to enroll to say, okay, now we go to a proper place, maybe a franchisor, a KFC franchise owner. We say, this guy wants to come shadow you for 6 months. Yeah. What are we going to do? But I just think we need a structured program that allows this very powerful brains that we've created to go straight into business. That's all. Because a lot of people are going into business. But they are going there because they have no choice. A lot of business owners don't start the business because they want to. They were retrenched and they had money. They couldn't find a job, and after 6 months, they were a little despondent. They were like, let me start this thing. But if we take the CAs and we get them into business from day one, we give them time to go pitch to investors. We should be going to our professional body to say, when is the pitching contest day? So that I can come with my ideas. And here are the funders here. Let's present to them. So I think there's definitely a lot we can do in that space. I definitely think, like I said, financial services has used up a lot of CAs and they've done well. That's why our financial services is the most organized, probably most organized in the world. Yeah, and then I've seen people that say there are places where they still use checks. And I'm like, in this day and age,
In this day and age.
Yeah,
we say that in South Africa, checks.
We underestimate how even our smallest banks are very advanced. That small bank is probably at the level of a very big bank in another country.
Yes.
So I think that shows the power of having this strong, group of individuals. And you can see audit is very organized. That's why we are probably, arguably the best in the world in audit. There's no question about it. Yes, everywhere there will be scandals and stuff like that. But we are still one of the best in terms of our auditing standards. And I say that because the audit organizations are leading in the world. So ERBA is leading amongst regulators. Auditor General is leading amongst public sector auditors. Our big four firms are leading amongst firms. So it's not arguable that we are the best. Public sector, another story for another day. And then entrepreneurship. So that's where I think we need to start tapping into the full potential of our CAs.
I want to pivot into this idea of having a personal brand. So you have a incredible personal brand, but I want to go into the journey of you building it, because I think a lot of people think that, when you're on your 60,000 followers on LinkedIn thing, you think that they think that those are people that exist on a different wavelength or a different existence, a different plane of existence. What was the beginning like of starting that brand?
Yeah, and this is in hindsight because you work, you just keep working.
Yes.
But you reflect.
Yes.
Work, reflect. So in reflection, it has always been an alignment to something. It's not about the brand. Branding is about projecting. It's about showing people, but what are you showing them? And I've seen a lot of people go into showing when they don't know what they're showing. And therefore, we are seeing, I'm drinking coffee. And okay, I'm like, all right, so tina senzeni. So those things happen. If you are not careful, if you don't do the alignment first, the projection becomes, the branding, which is the projection, becomes very unstructured,
obscure,
and we don't understand what you're trying to do. So I think a lot of professionals need to do the groundwork of alignment. And that's why I spend a lot of my time finding the cause. What do I want to represent? What do I want to solve? What problem do I want to align my life to? Not just my brand, my life. Even if I would not project it, I would still do it. It's not about the projection. I do way more than what I project, but I've chosen what to project. So personal branding is not about showing everything that you have. It's about projecting what you are trying to showcase. And usually the reason you showcase is because you are trying to show others what you're doing, so that if they can support you, they'll be able to come through. Because you want people to support you. A lot of the stuff we do, you can't do on your own.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking, if I'm working in public sector, I used to talk a lot about public sector and public schools because I wanted professionals to come and help in the public school space. Now I talk about internal audit because I want professionals to join and let's fix the internal audit space. So every time I project, it's always about, I found this thing that I would fix it even if I was alone.
Yes.
But it's better if I do it with other people. You know, now I can share and other people can come up with ideas and all that. So I think personal branding is about projection, but the most important part is about finding what to project. And that's the part we are not teaching a lot in personal branding. We teach you how to open a LinkedIn page, how to write a post, we are all about how to.
Yes, but not why.
Why? Why would you even want to do that? I mean, for some people, they're better off not posting.
It's true. Yeah. And it actually gets into this other idea of yours of focusing on the problem as opposed to the solution.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. And you know, this one I've taken back from Henry Ford. You know, Henry Ford, there's a quote from Henry Ford where he said, when he created the Ford Motors and he created cars, he said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would say a faster horse. Because they were used to horses.
Yes.
But he was linked to the problem, which is transportation, not the horse.
Yes.
So those people that solved transportation with a horse, they were always thinking about how to make the horse better.
Yeah.
That's why we bodied shoes. We created, you know.
We need the saddle to be smoother.
Yeah, we always, feed it a different way. So we kept working on the horse because we thought we were in the business of horses. But Henry Ford was in the transport business. So he was like, what else can we explore? I mean, let's go explore other things. So even with that, it's the same thing. So if you are in the business of a solution, when that solution goes out of fashion, you go out as well. You're gone. So that's the thing. You have to be in a business of a problem, not in a business of a solution. So find a problem. It's the same as, a weight loss supplement compared to weight loss. Weight loss is a problem that's not going anywhere. But a certain supplement for weight loss or anything, those things, a new one is going to come up and another one is going to come. What is going to happen to you if you align yourself to the solution? Don't align yourself to the solution. Align yourself to the problem. If you only think the only way to solve weight loss is by exercising, you've got a problem. Because what happens when everyone buys their own gym equipment? And now
your gym's out
your
of business.
gym is not, because you were thinking, no, the only way to lose weight and keep healthy was by going to the gym.
I mean, have you heard of these things? I forgot what GOP1, something like that. Ozempic. Have you heard of that?
Yes, exactly.
There's a great example.
Thank you. So you should have learned about that. already. Yeah. Your job is like, we are here, we are weight loss. If you have a problem with weight management, this is your place. And I'm going to get involved in anything that has to do with weight management, whether it's supplements, whether it's training, whether it's psychology of weight management. I don't care. But I'm aligned to the problem.
Yes.
Not the solution. So that's exactly what needs to happen, I think, with every career. Align yourself to the problem.
I love that. I think it gets into a lot of what I believe in, that I don't believe you should aim to be a CA. Now that sounds weird, like the guy who's on the CA podcast. I really believe you should not aim to be a CA. Don't be a CA. Aim to be whatever you need to be, such that CA is the means.
Exactly. And
CA
it is
the
exactly
means.
that. And that's why I always try and remind people that CA is not a job title. It's a qualification. It's not, you're not going to have CA span body. No. CA is a qualification. And that's what I've tried to do, is use it in very different circumstances.
Yeah.
So that it's very visible that, actually, this thing is not.
What's it? CIA, CRMA, RA, BSQP, BEQA. That's
I've
not
done
CA.
audit. I've done
Internal audit.
thought leadership. I've done training. I've done everything. So now I'm back at head of internal audit. There's just so much you can do with the CA thing, and there's no limit. So I agree with you. The decision to get CA should be motivated by its alignment to the problem you are trying to solve. CA can be your business because it's a solution. It's not a problem.
I mean, even this podcast, it comes even to the pod. So my slogan that I'll say at the end of this is, because everyone says on LinkedIn and everywhere, it will end in CASA, it'll end, right? And I'm like, that's way too short-sighted. I say it will begin in CASA, because, like, it's not about the CA.
No, CA is part of the.
It's part of it.
It's the solution to that bigger problem.
It's the solution.
You need that bigger problem. So
the
you
problem.
can't align your brand to CA.
Yes.
Because CA is a solution.
Yes.
That means if anything happens to CA, you're gone. And things happen.
Yeah.
We've gone through times where people are like, "Ooh, this CA,
CA thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your only ticket to the market was CA, for that time you were shaking.
Yeah.
So I think you need something bigger.
Yes.
Something much, much bigger than CA. And that's what I would advise professionals to always try and find. What's that thing that CAs becomes an enabler for you to do? And by saying that, automatically you are recognizing that there are other things that can help you do it other than CA. And that's what we need to do, to say, I fully value CA. It's one of the best. But compared to the problem I'm trying to solve, how big is it? And give it its right proportion of weight. Don't give it too much weight in a place where it's not supposed to. And I think CA guys that want to be entrepreneurs might have overrated the CA contribution. Yeah. And hence I was saying, maybe even doing articles was the problem. Because after that, you were used to a salary, too much stability, and you're already part of this profession that has got certain nuances where people are judged by the cars they drive and what and where they stay, that entrepreneurship would not allow you, because you need to suffer a little bit.
Yeah. You need to be down.
Thank you. And you wouldn't be able to go back. Some people can't go back in lifestyle. So after I finish my articles, how can I then go back from between 450 and 600 per annum to not knowing whether I'm going to get paid or not? Most people wouldn't be able to do that. And I understand. Understandably.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. And we don't blame them. That's a responsible adult. Yeah.
Sure. Resistance, right? There's this idea from Stephen Pressfield, who's the author of the War of Art. And basically, he defines this sort of natural force of nature, like gravity, like like inertia, of resistance. And basically, I've also thought about it in my way of the world being in this default disposition of no.
if you see a pretty woman there and you say, "Can I have your number?" What is the likely answer you will get? No. If you go and you try and you sell a product to someone, some stranger on the streets, what is the likely answer you're going to get? No. And similarly, when you say, "I would like to start a personal brand on LinkedIn," there's going to be that similar disposition that voice that starts to whisper, "No, but who are you? You're just a student. You're just a newly qualified CA. Oh, you still need to go get more experience. You've only done audit." All this resistance comes about. What has been your experience with resistance? And what would you say to someone, specifically in the context of building a personal brand, how they can overcome it?
The resistance is temporary. I've heard about the science of flight, that the majority of the power is used just on takeoff. Just on takeoff.
Sure.
That's where we burn the most fuel. That's where the highest amount of resistance happens, on takeoff. Once we go cruising, we are fighting small wins.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be an appreciation of that. That anything that's worth doing has got such high levels of resistance.
The more worthwhile, the higher the resistance.
Definitely. And I mean, I've seen some of these jets that are even multi-storied take off. And I'm like, how did that thing get off the ground? And it did. And it flies for 16 hours to another destination, because once it takes off and it's in cruising altitude, it's fine. There's nothing wrong. There's no major resistance. The speed can go as high as they want. So what I would say is that the first thing to do is to prep yourself. You have to be very, very prepared. And preparedness helps because that takeoff, that amount of resistance is going to need a lot of you, a very much lot of you. But then the second thing is consistency. It's about, once you know the right thing to do it consistently for a certain amount of time without wanting results, without looking at the results. That's why they say, if you want to really get committed to a gym, don't look at the scale. Look at your consistency with going to the gym. Go to the gym for 3 months before you get on the scale again. How do you go to the gym for a week and then when you're on the scale already like, this gym is not working? It's not supposed to be working yet. It's like the pilot going, and then after just the nose goes up, he says, this thing is not flying. Put it down. Then you go start from scratch. Then you go again on the, and then. So I think that we don't take long enough to give ourselves a chance to be better first. So when I started building my brand, I just started posting. I wasn't expecting reactions, engagements. No, I was flexing the muscle for posting.
Just to do,
just
to
post.
press the button. Just
and can I commit to posting? Then once you start committing to post, you can see, then you can improve the quality of the content. Because as much as you're not getting a lot of engagement, but you are getting some engagement. So you can already see the angles that are working,
Well, that's if you intelligently do that. Because I think one thing that I've seen, which is, it's just strategically sad because it's a small little adjustment, is you need to iterate. So it's you do need to act,
yes,
but you need to just one change every single time.
You have to.
Just a little bit. That's where you start to see engagement. There's a lot of people who have zero on their post. It's good that you've already thinking of the English. You cleared the
yes.
You've got it out your system. That posting,
but it has to grow. Yeah,
but then you have to change.
It's that reflection element that you can't do without reflecting, but you can't reflect too quickly.
Yeah, you need something to reflect on.
Yes, so allow yourself to fully immerse yourself, and sometimes the reflection might be stop. What you're doing there doesn't work.
Yeah,
maybe that platform you were posting on is not your platform.
Yeah,
it might be time to change.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, when I started, I used to post on very few platforms like go Facebook, and then eventually you could pick up which one is your platform, and you start dialing, you know, making sure that I'm going harder on this one, and you can see the work happen when you
It comes back to that beginning thing. Once you found what you're good at, you found what you like,
just focus on it.
Just focus on
don't dilute your focus too much.
Dilute.
So I definitely think consistency is about that first part. Just do it for some time. You have to give yourself just some time to work on something so that you can reflect on it and have enough quantity to reflect on.
Yes.
Some people don't have enough quantity. They do it once. They post one post and no one reacts. They go like, yo, never. No one liked my post.
Yeah.
Firstly, we don't even know you exist. How are we supposed to even... You know, your post didn't even reflect it.
It wasn't in my feed.
It didn't even come to our feed. Because firstly, you don't even have connections.
Yeah.
You haven't done enough work. When you get into a field, the first step is to look at the other people and engage with those people and see what they're doing and then post in the middle.
Back to that first point that you said about preparation. I think preparation from a personal branding perspective is download the app, LinkedIn, or download Twitter or download Instagram. Then participate. Like, go and see what other people are doing, comment on their posts, follow people, study what they're doing. A lot of the most success I've gotten in any of the things I've done has literally just been replicating what they're doing.
Exactly. And I would say follow the same model we used in our studies. I think in our studies, they have got these levels for every question. Knowledge, awareness, what.
Yes.
And then application is right at the end.
The highest level.
So why would you start with application?
Yeah.
So a lot of people start with application. I mean, you could literally binge watch YouTube on whatever you want to do. By Monday, you might be half an expert. Just by binge watching. If you decide you want to be a trainer of dogs, by Monday, next week, you could be a 25% trainer of dogs. Because you could literally binge watch everyone that has. We are now living in a world where it's so easy to become an expert at anything. Because no one is spending enough time on one thing. They are all over the place. So that if you are that one person that has got the discipline to focus on one thing, you are covered. So I would say follow that principle. I think it's knowledge, awareness, comprehension. I think it's application, but there's like a method to it.
Yeah.
I'm saying don't start at the end. It's not going to be easy.
Look, the problem with not getting to that part is you can start to procrastinate. Preparation can become procrastination, and that's where you need to apply maturity. You need a high EQ for this,
a very high one, and there is and I like that you're raising that because sometimes people already know enough, but they hide in the I don't know. Yeah, so that's where the challenge is. Yeah, so I'm like, don't overstay your welcome.
Yeah.
In any of those stages.
Yeah,
you need to know enough.
Yeah, you do need to know.
And I can tell you, if you've been on LinkedIn, you're done. You are ready.
If you've been looking at people's
stuff. If you've been looking at people, that's the same as binge watching over a weekend. You're covered.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. There is a problem with overstaying your welcome in one of these, and that's why some people stay at university. They study to study. There are people I found at varsity and I left them there.
They study to study.
Yeah, they've been studying. But they are never leaving to go to corporate. They always find a way to start another master's. Another one.
Yeah.
So comfort zone is very dangerous because they did the knowledge, maybe the comprehension, and they are the master there. They are afraid that if they go into application, now they're going to start at the bottom. Now you're at the bottom of the food chain. That's not nice. So I can understand, but definitely we have to work. Yeah.
And I actually wanted to go back to what you said around. You've mentioned this idea of just not having to struggle. Like life doesn't have to be this huge struggle. Should we struggle? Should we not?
We should struggle intentionally.
Struggle, yeah.
It has to be an intentional one. You need to look for pain. It needs to be pain you chose to have. If you don't choose pain, pain will choose you. So, because, life by its nature, there's going to be frictions
Yeah.
certain places.
Yeah, resistance,
and go to the one that you choose your resistance, so that you can be better at life. If you don't, resistance will come to you, and it's not gonna be good, because then you don't choose which one comes to you. I would rather you go for it and suffer on that one, and that's where the important thing is. So I think you have to very quickly be ready to feel some pain in your life. And if you live your life trying to avoid pain, I mean, that's why I'm very afraid of professionals that are just after comfort. Those are professionals that are very dangerous to the economy, to the society, and to themselves, because they would make a decision that doesn't make sense just because they need comfort.
You'll make a decision, back to what you were saying, where even if you win, you don't win.
You don't win. You're going to get that comfort, but you still lose. Yeah. Now you are a prisoner of your own achievement, because your achievements have stopped you from living your true life. And this always, sometimes it sounds a little weird when I say to professionals, don't gather too much too early. Express yourself more. And use the resources you have to get more resources to express yourself more.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you buy things that create a prison for you.
Yeah.
You can't really, like, for example, you subscribe to a lifestyle that stops you from fully being yourself.
Yeah.
The kind of money we earn as CAs can make you start subscribing to clubs you should have never subscribed to.
Yeah.
Now, by subscribing to that club, you are no longer able to push your mission, because your mission might be frowned upon in that circle.
Yeah.
So you choose the mission first, and use your money to resource your mission, not to resource your comfort. Most people resource their comfort, not their mission. Comfort can never unleash your spirit. It can't. You can chill and, be in a very nice car, live in a very nice house, and sit there and wonder what you could be doing better. And then there's a person that has got half what you have, and they are living their best life.
Yeah.
Because they are waking up every day and they are saving children's lives.
Yeah.
Like, they're waking up every day, they are teaching rural kids what. Now, when you are already used to certain luxuries, if they say to you, let's go fix schools in Malamulele, is there a flushing toilet? They say no. Is there a cinema next door? No. No, I can't go there. Now, look what a cinema has done to you. Just the simple luxury of being able to go to the cinema has stopped you from being able to go to a certain community for 6 months to go and fix that place, because you ask those questions. Do they have? Do they have? Do they have? No, they don't. I'm not going. Even if going there would really be unleashing your truest potential. But now you are bound by the comfort that you bought.
We should struggle. We must struggle. Yeah. As a last thing, I actually wanted to draw us to Africa again. And you mentioned the untapped army of the professionals that we have. And I wanted to ask you about the future of professionals, but I wanted to sort of contextualize this with the Africa opportunity. So Africa has
To be continued in part 3. See you next week.